Hi, hello, good evening, my young officers. Welcome to this daily night editorial analysis. So, this is Nisha Nujumudeen, your educated Unacademy, an expert in Indian economy, current affairs, and MCQs. So, yes, how are you all? So, here we are with another set of most important, interesting editorial articles of the day, which is very useful for the current updation of what is happening in and around you. So as far as UPSC CSE is concerned, editorial being the soul of UPSC, it's very important that we do not leave out any particular portion of it, right? So yes, I hope I'm audible and visible to you people. Is everything fine? Perfect. So here we go. As you all know, in this particular editorial analysis, we'll be doing a quick revision of the most important editorial articles of the current day's newspaper, that is November 16, 2021, wherein all the important concepts or basics pertaining to the topic of discussion. Let's say, for example, we have a topic from economy, a current affairs of that. Sometimes it is very important to have a look into the conceptual perspective as well for a better understanding. Similarly, if it is from a polity perspective, if it is from a environmental perspective, it will be done. And along with that, you will have a mains answer writing practice also towards the end of your class. Clear? And all the notes will be given to you in handy format. And now in the chat box of this particular video, you can find a link that is pinned up. That particular link is the link of my Unacademy profile, where you can click that and follow me there. Actually, it is also for the Unacademy Champions events as well. It will take you to my profile also and you can follow me there. Clear? Yes, Shivam, how are you? Okay. So already my young officers, you should be indeed very much. Yes, here we go. So before that, guys, before going to the most important editorial articles of the day, let me tell you an important thing. There is a beautiful conclave that is happening at Unacademy. So every now and then, the retired IAS officers, the current serving IAS officers, then many other personalities, they do come and take sessions in Unacademy where you can even interact with them, as through the classes as well. So if you see this coming November 20 to 22, that is Saturday and Sunday, I can tell you. These 2 days, exclusively, there's a free conclave happening called as Champions Conclave. So it is the whole idea is to get expert guidance from those who have cracked it. So if you see, we have Durga Shakti Nagpal, Amanpreet, Krishna Mohan Sir, we have Jagarti, Satyam Ganti, and also Gaurav. All these people are coming together. So you can see a very amazing conclave that is happening, which will enable you people to have a great idea about what exactly UPSC is, because this is not just by the teachers or the educators alone. Rather, the toppers of UPSC category, the bureaucrats who are in service, and also the educators out there. Clear? And for the free class, you have to download the app. You have to register your concerned mail ID and phone number, and then click on the given link and use the code Nisha IAS Live for the same. Is it clear? One thing I'll tell you, even to watch my own free class, or let's say, to watch the plus class, the code is same. Nisha IAS Live is the code that you got to use, be it the free class or the plus. Plus means the paid platform of Unacademy, where you get structured courses. You can just see the prices given here. So iconic means premium subscription. Combo means it consists of your general studies plus the optional together at a very cheap rate. Apart from the given discounts, you'll also be getting extra 15% discount using this so-called Nisha IAS Live code. Clear? So you can just go through all those things. If you are interested in subscription, get back to me. So before that, talking about the conclave, why it is important? There are so many amazing topics. If you see, retired IAS officer Mr. Amitabh Bhattacharya, he talks about, should one have a plan B? If not UPSC, if not IAS, if not IPS, what is the next plan that you should have? Next is stepping out of your comfort zone, which is very important for all of us. See, whether you prepare for UPSC or do not prepare for UPSC is secondary. But you got to get out of your comfort zone to really achieve something in life. Don't you think so? Yes, Vineet? Yeah. So now, what are the qualities that you should require to become an IAS officer? That will be done by the current, UPSC CSE rank 2, topper 2, Jagrati. Then another interesting section called as When Nation Comes First, an officer's journey, that is discussed by a bureaucrat again. And again, another topper of the year, that is Satta Karurwal, who's ranked number 17 of the CSE 2020, will be discussing their success story, like my story, cracking UPSC in the first attempt. It is also possible for you to do that. So you have 3 insightful day, 15 iconic toppers, that is the people who have subscribed for Unacademy, the paid platform, and you have got the service will be talking to you, taking sessions, and all the top 15 educators of Unacademy will be part of it, and 15 telling sessions. So these are the highlights. Clear? Perfect. So now, as you all know, the other steps are the same, guys. You can just follow me. Below the description box of this particular video, you do have my Unacademy profile link, which will take you to that. Okay, this will appear for you. This is a profile of mine. You can follow me there and stay tuned for all the special class called as free class, and plus class mean paid classes. Clear? Not only of my class, even the other faculties. For that, you got to have a subscription. So anyways, did you go through the topics of the day today, guys? Today it's so interesting. We can be a little relaxed because not much of difficult topics are there in the newspaper. Rather, they're very simplified topics because we are going to make it more simplified. That is the whole idea. Okay. So now, if you see, the most important articles from today's editorial newspaper is out of the 4 articles, 4 to 5 articles, I have taken 2 solid articles as of 16th November 2021. If you have the Hindu newspaper with you, do take it. And you can have a look into that as well. Or even after the class, you can get back to that and read and see the difference of it. How easily you understood what is written there. It's an analysis of the particular news based on the background analysis, based on, what are you supposed to study from the topic, from the UPSC perspective. Why is the topic important? Why are you studying that? And what are the issues or challenges associated, and what could be the way forward, or let's say the remedies and conclusion. This is the way we'll be doing it. Clear? Yes, Biko and Nathan, good evening. So now if you see page number 8 and 9 of today's Hindu editorial analysis, you can see 2 beautiful articles. One is battling for an important yet misunderstood species from environment. And next is about Pegasus inquiry, must reverse the chilling effect. This is from political science, guys. So 2 different articles of different dimensions happens here. Yes, Nathan? Do you take regular classes? Yes, I do take, Nathan. Why? What happened? You got to follow me there and you get everything right over there. Yes, Kiran, good evening. So here we go, my young officers. Let's quickly have a look into these big articles out there in a very short, sweet and simple manner. So this is the article out here, guys. So half a page it will be there, but we're going to see them in a 360-degree coverage manner in the form of handy note format. So you would have seen this, battling for an important yet misunderstood species. That is, we know that the so-called Nipah fever or the Nipah virus, it is associated with a species called as bat. So now based on that particular species, the so-called topic is all about. That is this particular editorial article. It is telling you like a world with fever. That is the fever bats. Okay. Around is one that has failed to understand the critical role they play in the ecosystem. So though we say bats are causing a lot of viruses called as Nipah virus, which causes a lot of issue for the health of the people. In fact, it is even leading to death. We are failing to understand the importance of this particular night species called as bat, what role they do have in the food chain or the ecosystem. So environmentally, the existence of this particular species is important. So this article is important from the environmental point of view, plus the health point of view, and also from what? From what else, my young officers? You should tell me. From what else? Environment, health, plus the conservation point of view. Okay. So here we go. Why do you study this? So from the category ecology, this particular article is taken. So now an editorial article will be the viewpoint given by 2 or 3 different people, or let's say even a single person as well. But when you study an article or when you read a topic, you have to understand what is happening, and then you have to make your own analysis. Because that is the way you got to make an analysis, or you got to study for the UPSC CSE examination. That is what we'll be doing in today's class also. Clear? It's very easy to, read the so-called article that is given here, which will be just a translation or just a reading of the same stuff. It doesn't make a sense. But rather understanding why you study this particular topic and then studying the issues or challenges and the benefits or advantages and then the solution makes a lot of sense. And that's what we'll be doing it today. Clear? So here we go. Why do we study this particular article, or the context is because this article is discussing on the role of bats in the ecosystem. in disease spread, bat-human interference, and also restoration of balance. So 3 different perspectives. What is the so-called myth, or let's say you cannot call it a myth, but still somewhat a reality? What is the so-called point with regard to the spreading of disease because of this species called as bat? What is the interface between bat and human beings? And what about the restoration balance in the food chain or ecosystem? This particular species plays an important role. So conserving them is also important. You cannot just keep killing them because of the spread of disease as a whole. So in 3 different dimensions, this particular article takes you. Clear? Yes, Biku, do you take morning class? You can come in the Unacademy Plus or the paid platform for morning classes. But early morning class, okay? So now, before going to the topic of discussion in detail as to what we have misunderstood about the species, or what is the stuff that we have that is talking about the virus or the disease that has been caused by the species called bat, you should know what is a bat and how is this a relationship of this particular species in the ecosystem. These are all the basic or the static things sometimes you forget to understand. So a quick revision of them will make you full-fledged with regard to what you're studying. So here we go, bats and the ecosystem. So basically, we know it's a mammal. The bats are winged mammals, right? And if you see for our country, India, how many species of bats you have? Oh my goodness, 128. And in the entire globe, you can see 1,200 bats, guys, the species I'm talking. So be it bats or be it humans. So normally we see bat and all when? We do see them in the ghost वाले movies, है ना? बहुत खतरनाक है ना? So we do see bats like that, where if you go for a haunted homes in the night, if you open the door, we can see bats coming. So this is how we categorize bats, because they are nocturnal creatures. They are creatures that you can find in the night time. But though that is the case also, humans and bats, okay, for ages, okay, they have existed together beyond the reach of memory, and they play a very, very critical role in the ecosystem. Why? Why do we say that this species called bat is very important for our ecosystem? There are a few reasons. Point number 1. They destroy insects in farms, fields, forests, grasslands, and around our homes, which even includes agriculture pests and disease causing mosquitoes by eating them up. So now they're actually doing something that is useful to us. Yes, Nitin is saying lazy animals. Don't tell me, Nitin, bat is a lazy animal. After learning this, you will not tell me that. You see what they're doing. They're actually destroying, help us in destroying the insect in farms, fields, forests, सब कुछ like that. And also, they even help us in, killing, or let's say destroying the disease causing mosquitoes. Chota wala machar hai na, the mosquito, the Aedes mosquito, which causes dengue, malaria, this. Oh my goodness, I still remember, me getting dengue. Chota wala machar, small wala mosquito causing a lot of issues. So they help in destroying all these things. You got the point. That is one important thing that you should understand. So hereafter, don't tell me that bats are lazy, Nathan. You should tell me that they're literally doing some great things to us, helping us from not falling prey to such kind of dengue, chikungunya, malaria and all, and for losing a little count and falling sick too much. Second is some bats. They also pollinate flowers, sip nectars, and spread the seeds of many important trees. That is pollination, carrying the whatever required pollinated stuff from one flower to another, which normally the honeybee does. That is also done by bat at night times. Okay, so this is another role played by them in the ecosystem. And now if you see some important trees like the wide varieties guava, banana, mango and other fruits, bats do play a very important role in that. Clear? So you never knew, bats do play important role like this. We know about bats like what? Bats are night creatures. They're very, rugged and, let's say the most terrific wala creatures associated with all the ghostly wala stories, right? But let me tell you something, all those things, apart from that, there are so many useful role played by bats in our ecosystem. These are all pure theoretical and yet simple stuffs which you should know. Clear? So now don't you think so, guys? Bats are important, though the disease called as Nipah virus is coming from that also. It is quite important because they play a critical role, right? But we have to find a solution how to overcome that disease. That's the next point to be discussed. Now, if you see a few of the important studies, okay, which has been conducted before, the evidence shows that one species of bat prevented the loss of 2,900 tons of rice per year. Or let's say it actually prevented the loss of the meals of 26,200 people annually. That's every single year. How? Just by providing pest biocontrol. What else you need? So this itself is very important. Now connect this topic to the economy perspective. How do you interlinguage them to the economic current affairs? Have a look into this. That is 2,900 tons of rice per year. Or let's say the meals that you and me take. 26,200 people annually, the meals that they take, we are able to save that because of one of the species called as bat, because they were providing some pest biocontrol through that. And if you see the excrement of bats known as guano, even that has been used as fertilizers, guys. Okay, the excreta, basically for all the agriculture crops, because this particular excrements of bat, the excreta or the waste of bat, they are very rich in phosphorus and nitrogen elements. That is also in a way contributing as a fertilizer, natural fertilizer. And if you see in our country, India, there is no study at all exclusively done on the roles played by this night creature species called as bats, I can tell you. But you just have a look into the 4 solid killer points that I've told you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that not enough for you to understand the importance of bats, my young officers? Yes. So despite the above mentioned roles, bats have always remained misunderstood species. Because of this particular point only, the article is titled as Batting for an Important, yet misunderstood species. We think of bat in a misunderstood manner. So hereafter, you should not think about bat as a useless or a lazy creature. Will you think? You shouldn't, because that is the importance of that. Clear? Yes, Nathan, value addition answer writing off. Yes. See, I can just teach you the article just like that. I can just translate to you or, give you importance from this newspaper clipping. That will not actually help you in answer writing. When I tell you about the importance of bat, what is the role played by them, this will actually help you knowledge-wise as well as for your answer writing as well. Because this is what UPSC is looking forward. Whether the candidate who is appearing for the exam is really having knowledge on an overall perspective. Clear? Now, let's quickly have a look into the next point of it. What is the role of bats in the spread of disease? If you see, currently taking into consideration the COVID-19 perspective, one of the scientific study, they shown that, excuse me, they shown that SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes the so-called COVID-19 emerged in bats. Okay, and there is a sense of fear that bats can carry more disease that can be transmitted, which means the so-called pandemic can even be aggravated or increase more because of the so-called, study which shows that this COVID-19 virus, okay, this can spread faster because it has reached bats. That fear is there. It has emerged like that. And if you see bats, they have a very, very unique characteristic, guys, of being a natural reservoir, I can tell you. For many, many pathogenic viruses like, Hendra, Nipah, Marburg, Ebola and all. And even the coronavirus today, because they cause a lot of acute or severe respiratory syndrome, the breathing issues. In that, Ebola, Nipah and coronavirus is the most famous, I can tell you. Nipah is a kind of fever which affects humans most. Ebola also same thing. From South Africa they came, we know that. Today problem in our country, India. And coronavirus affecting the entire globe without, any discrimination, I should tell you. A joke of the day again, right? Yes, Achintya, what is it? On app, when will session be? That will be there from tomorrow, 5:45 to 6:45, 6 to 7, 10 to 11. Your special class is right, it will be there. You come with the plus class. Did you get the subscription, Achintya? Anyways, is it clear, guys? This is the role of the bats in the spread of disease. We are having a fear whether this can really agree with the scenario. Clear? And now these bats, now they fly long distance. Now when they fly long distance and when they are having such kind of, they're able to carry the so-called coronavirus disease, automatically they can result in the damage of cell contents. So if they keep flying long distance, okay, then that can help in damage of cell contents, and to avoid such damages, bats have also developed what? An immune system of their own, which is helping them to prevent from all such harmful viruses. Despite being the reservoir of viruses, this bats never fall sick. You look at this, what an amazing point to be noted. And because of the so-called good immune system these bats are having, it also enables them to live much longer, and also they get aged very slower. They don't become old very fast. And I can tell you, for the body size they have, the chotawala, the small kind of body size they have now with the big wings. Okay, these bats, they're known as the longest lived mammals, I can tell you, for the body size that they have. Don't compare bat with the elephant. Elephant is also a mammal which lives for long. But for the small body size they have, they are the longest lived mammals. Clear? Now, what is ecological imbalance, guys? That do you think because of bats that can happen? Though we saw the importance of bats that they play in the ecosystem, which is quite critical to the importance of our ecosystem and ecological perspective, there are a few ecological imbalances. If you see, taking into consideration the current COVID-19 pandemic or this COVID, we have come across the fact that bats can transmit viruses to humans. That is true. Through fruits, through contaminated stuff, because that is getting indirectly passed to human beings also, which is causing a lot of issue. Nipah virus, or let's say Nipah fever, is a very big example. So now, when this is the condition, this transmission of viruses, which happens from the bat, who are the natural host, to the novel host called as we human beings, is a kind of rare event. And that can take place only, let's say, when there are too much of contact between bats and humans directly. But now, in the context of Nipah virus and all, through fruits it takes place, right? And if you see, over the period of time, humans have cut the forest for agriculture and also, let's say, development use. And we have also speeded up the mining process, which destroys the homes of bats, because these bats, they don't live in trees or anything as such, rather they live in natural caves. They do, you can see them, in natural caves. But now, because we kind of destroy the habitats of these people, they, let's say, these species, can't say people, the species, their livelihood is, or let's say their survival is getting affected. Now, when there is an imbalance which is caused for these bats, because bats are said to live in natural caves, when we are kind of destroying the forest, or let's say we are going for deforestation stuff, imbalance is happening. So that is actually changing bats, or I can tell you, it's actually forcing these bats to change their homes and it makes them stressed. Thus, the risk of spillover of virus increases because they're not staying in caves. They come out, they stay. You can see them in the trees. You can see where human settlements are put up. So automatically, they keep transmitting the viruses once they get it. You understand? So automatically, what happened? We human beings are having a more of chance to fall prey or sick to such kind of viruses because it has been spread through bats also. Even the so-called SARS-CoV-2, that is COVID-19 pandemic virus, called as coronavirus. So from the research study, it has been concluded that the scientists said that ecological imbalance has made bats move closer to human habitats. And that is another reason why the virus is also getting transmitted. Because when they carry the virus, this bat will not have any issue because they have a very good immune system. But now they are carrying the virus. Bats are not getting affected. But then when they carry the viruses, when they move to the human habitats, automatically it's getting spread. So it is aggravating. So now this is one of the biggest fear that is there, because of which we are finding ways and means to avoid it. Did you understand, all of you, till here? The next important, fact, or let's say next important heading that you will understand from this particular article is, news article is, what is the interface of humans and bats? If you see many traditional, or let's say indigenous group people, they're too much dependent on nature. We all know that, right? The tribal peoples, the people who still depend upon the forest for livelihood. So the traditional people, they still depend on nature and animals. And always these tribal peoples, they want to maintain the balance without any harm to beat humans as well as animals, because they understand that the importance of giving space to all animals even includes bats. It's not like only big animals like elephants, tigers, lions are there. No, even bats is also to be given importance. They understand. They kind of allow them to coexist. For example, one of the example is that if you see one of the tribal or the indigenous group, okay, they do a bat harvest festival. That is, there is a bat harvest festival of the Bomber clan in Nagaland. Nagaland is a northeastern state. In that, there is a tribe called as Bomber clan, a group. They observe a festival called as bat harvest festival. How interesting, na? You know what they do? They celebrate this festival in which they smoke a cave. They literally smoke, okay, a cave in which these bats are living. And the bats start exiting and they kill them for consumption purpose. They even do that. During this process, you know what happened? Bats will bite or scratch them, but this does not lead to the outbreak of any harmful disease due to viruses. Clear? Yes, Nathan. Okay. Now, another important point to be noted under the heading that is human bat interfaces, the NCBS TFIR, which means the National Center for Biological Science and the Center for Department of Atomic Energy. Okay, currently they're conducting a research on how this bomber clan of the Nagaland guys, they are immune to such virus. Can you believe they're transmitting viruses? But how can these people not fall sick? You tell me. The bat is transferring, for example, let's say they've got some, they already got coronavirus and they're spreading it to human. Okay, the bats are having a very good immune system, but they're transferring it like this due to the direct, connection that the bat is having either by hitting or biting or whatever. But still, they do not fall sick. How can that happen? So it's surprising the scientists as well. So they are conducting research on how this particular clan or group of people called as Bummer clan of the Nagaland state is immune to such viruses. And they're also studying the microbial diversity of bats in serology to identify which part of diversity is potentially pathogenic. So after the study, they've come to a finding that there is a genetic prevalence of bacteria and viruses in bats. Automatically, genetically, they have some sort of bacteria and viruses. And they also found that humans and bats have common antibody response to certain virus. And that itself is indication of what spillover. So this is the so-called interface and the similarity between the species called as humans and bats. Clear? They understood this after doing this study. It's the current affairs perspective again. And this National Center for biological science now, you know what do they do? They're also along with the research trying to collect a series of genomes of all the bat viruses. So through this, what happens is like they'll be able to prepare for any possible outbreak in future, because the bats are highly immune creatures, and we can never expect a country to be, or let's say the entire globe to be running in a normal scenario hereafter. Every now and then new virus is coming up. So using this factor called bat, the immune system of stuffs of them, they're collecting a series of genomes of bats. So normally, if at all a possible outbreak is coming, it could be utilized for the same to cure them in the form of vaccinations or medicines by involving the genomes of bat into it. Clear? And we all know that a country, India, come on, we're very rich in cultural and biological diversity. And the local practices can provide us with guide on how to minimize what the risk of such infectious disease viruses from the bats in the future. That's also important. And I can tell you that as far as research and study is concerned, our country, India, is the best place to do such kind of stuff, because we accept all those. And we kind of, and encourage those. So now what you can do in this perspective is the next question to be understood. What are the precautions to be taken, guys, for you not to fall sick or prey to the viruses or the disease given by bats? Minimize direct contact with bats, especially the indigenous and the tribal people. That is one thing which is to be understood. Clear? Next is avoid eating or handling bats. Come on, that you shouldn't do. But you cannot prevent the, let's say, the tribes from having doing so. That becomes another topic of discussion. Let me tell you that. That is also something important to be, understood. Clear? Then the so-called Nipah virus. How is it happening? People go to market, they say, I want to be healthy, so let me go and buy the fruits and vegetables. But we never know that these fruits are bitten by the bats. That's why they ask you to buy very clean fruits and vegetables out in the market. That is, so you have to start avoid eating fallen fruits and vegetables that might be contaminated with the bat fluids or guano. Sometimes it's not like the bite of a bat can give you a virus or disease, like Nipah fever or virus. No. Sometimes the fruits and vegetables will be fallen down. Okay, when the bat is passing by, they can the fluids of the bat or one the excreta of bat can fall on them. People will wash it and give it to you, but that is getting soaked into that particular fruit and vegetable. And the human beings are taking it. Somebody with a less immune system, especially the children and adults and all, the elders I'm talking, they're very much prone to such kind of diseases. Clear? That is what we are seeing it also. Don't you think so? Yes. And in the long term, so the next precaution is that in the long term, we can avoid practices that bring us more closer to the so-called bats and stress them out to shed the viruses. Clear? This is what you can do, the precaution. That is, it is said that prevention is better than care. So does the same thing applies here as well. So what you can do, as far as the country India is concerned, we are a place where most of the people, we are dependent on the services that has been provided by the ecosystem. Like we depend on clean air, we depend on clean water, we depend on pollinations and all. It has to do grow naturally. So over the period of time, due to the excess of human activities interference for development purpose, like deforestation, cutting of complete trees without even planting a single sapling, because it is said that when you cut one tree, you have to plant 12 saplings. That is, or 12 new trees. Who does that? Nobody. Even if they do so also, they do not proper water them, do not provide the proper fertilizers. Khatam ho gayi, finish, fatafat. That's it. You got the point. Is it very clear to all of you in the class? Are you paying attention? Huh. So now, because the activities done by human beings, yes, Nathan, what happens? There has been ecological disturbance. And that so we got to balance them. What can we do for that? We have to balance them by a combination of restoration of habitat and also coexistence with wildlife, including bats, because bats play a very important role. The initial 4 solid points, what I've told you regarding bats, is very, very important. So now we can, next important way forward here is an integrated approach, such as One Health. I repeat, One Health, in which the health of humans can be linked to environment and animals and can result in what? The optimistic or positive outcome. And moreover, we need the support of global countries, or let's say international, countries as a whole. There is a requirement for a global commitment. Why? Because we need to protect natural habitats and biodiversity. See, when you talk about the environment, when you talk about the ecology, there are no boundaries for the air. There are no boundaries for the habitats or biodiversity as a whole. Maybe you can categorize them as country perspective, but then air has no boundary. So it's very important that when one place is getting highly polluted or destroyed, automatically very soon the next area, even if it belongs to another country, also it will get affected because it's all in the air passage. You got the point. So it's very important that a global commitment is required to protect the national habitats and biodiversity. Is clear? So thus, as far as the bats are concerned, I can tell you, if we are really planning to kill off the bats or weed off the bats, a world with full bats will put us in more trouble because it will result in greater loss of agriculture crops by pest. And we'll also suffer from many diseases, guys, caused by mosquitoes. Already people are falling sick to dengue, malaria and all. When they are all there, they are also finished. Khatam ho gayi hai na? So hence finding a balance is the need of the future. For what? For humans and the species, especially including bats. And in that I've taken only the case of this small creature called as bats because that was given in the article today, the newspaper article today. That's why it said we kind of misunderstood the species called as bat. But that is not the case. That's what this article is highlighting or telling you. Did you understand? And that was a brilliant article, right? Very simple one. See, sometimes you'll feel, why do UPSC give you such kind of article? But let me tell you, if you read the article, you'll feel quite confused. But if you learn it like this, both static plus current affairs combination in a proper systematic manner, it becomes more simplified. Now, what I'll do is, I myself will show you in this class. Hold on. You have learned this now. I'm going to show you the clippings of the newspaper. Now, the very first clipping talk about the mag in dusk in a rural heartland. Groups of people returning to their homes from farms, factories, and forests. At the same time, hordes of winged animals called bats. Okay, they emerge from roots of trees, caves, etc., etc. Is causing a lot of trouble. And the next point talks about role of disease in spread. Then they talk about the study of human bat interference. So now the whole point here is they start the article in a little bit high fashion manner, which is not that easy for people to understand. So reading this article, okay, you get an idea. You understand you're talking about the bats. But why you study this? Point number one. That's what we saw here. And what is the relationship of bats and ecosystem? The importance of that, the pure environmental theoretical perspective, 4 solid points. This will help you to understand why we are saying that we misunderstood the species called as bats, which is given as per the title of the article. Don't you think so? Followed by a few important data and other current affairs perspective of why we have to preserve this bat and what is the role of bats in spread of disease. Followed by the ecological imbalance and what we should do for that, and the human bat interference with examples and other current affairs, precautions and way forward. Clear? So this is the way you have to study any single article. Why I am stressing this once again is because many a times people tend to get confused of the important articles and how to study them. Though this might appear so simple to you also, you see how many points today you gathered into your brains through this particular article, Hannah. So that is quite important. Clear? So now, the next important article is a very interesting one. Let me tell you that. It's from the category polity. The Pegasus you all know, right? Which is quite, interesting as well. Some people feel it is difficult, but let me tell you, Pegasus is very interesting because this article talks about the controversy of Pegasus. Pegasus inquiry must reverse the chilling effect. What's that? The government is silent on this issue, right to privacy. Sometimes your right to privacy is affected. We have discussed a very similar article before as well, if I'm not wrong. So make sure that you're going through that as well. Is it very clear for all of you? So now this article talks about the so-called controversy of Pegasus and why is the government silent and what are the various aspects of the very same issue. What issue? Pegasus. Yes, Achintya? Few months hot topic. Yes, it is a hot topic of the day indeed. Yes, Nathan, Article 21. Really? Yeah, you talk about a lot of polity article as well in this particular, topic. It is a current affairs plus a static portion again. So now I'll give a background understanding or an idea of what this Pegasus controversy is all about. So when I tell you about Pegasus controversy, maybe let's say last month beginning you would have done this. So you would have forgotten the basis of this. What is a controversy? So let's quickly do a revision and I'll take you to the background of this particular topic. If you see the purchase of very expensive software called as Pegasus, which is put up by the Australian people. It's called as Australian software, okay, by the government of India and its misuse. Come on, that has actually shaken the whole world. It is a very good software. Okay, we can understand. But then when we actually purchased it, the government of India, and when we kind of misused it, the entire world is shocked. What are we doing? And why is the government silent on this? And many times the government even refused to answer any questions or queries on this particular issue. And that has allowed the entire, parliamentary session, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, to be washed away, because subject discussion was completely denied. Why people are blindly closing eyes to such kind of discussion was the next hot topic of the day, I can tell you. This is a very, very big controversy, very interesting also. You did everything अच्छा से, like अच्छा बच्चा, you did everything, ठीक है, एकदम बड़ा वाला कल्लतरम you did, and nicely चुपचाप you're sitting, ठीक है, please tell us whatever you say. We don't have ears, we don't have eyes, we don't have mouth. That was a scenario when the government refused to answer the questions or queries on this issue that popped up. There was a mistake that happened, and I can tell you it is a really, really serious issue. Yes, Nitin, Supreme Court is serious on this issue, no doubt in that. We are very serious on this. It is the government who did it, not anybody else. But what to do? Sometimes, I don't understand why the government does all this. That's supposed to be understood. But there could be some reasons from their end as well why this happened. Nobody will do it intentionally, but then it so happened. But whatever actions will be taken. So now if you see the so-called Pegasus controversy, you can even call it as a scandal. Just a normal software led to a lot of issues. Okay. Now this scandal has a similarity with the so-called Watergate scandal. Previously in USA, okay, there was a scandal called as Watergate scandal. So if you take histories of that particular scandal which happened in USA, the current Pegasus scandal, software scandal which has happened in a country, India, which is used by the government, and the misuse of it is compared to that. Now, when the Watergate scandal took place in USA, America, that time the US president Richard Nixon was that time, and he was brought down in the year 1970s. Now, Pegasus is there, government of India has done it. So whom are you going to bring down? That is a very valid question asked by the opposition also, which has actually closed the eyes and mouth of a lot of people. Don't you think so? This is a very, very controversial issue. The opposition asked the question not because they wanted to go against the ruling government, just because of the fact that not only the opposition, anybody will question. Right to privacy is very, very important. Right to security is very, very important. When your privacy and when your security as individual gets threatened, what do? So just imagine for the entire country. Do you think we'll keep quiet when our privacies and securities have been open to everyone? That's what has happened. You understand? So this is the background. This is the background of the issue, guys. Right to privacy versus national security. Very well said, Nitin. Very good. Beautifully explained. You got the point, all of you? So this is the background of this particular topic. Clear? Now, similarly, if you see, like USA, in USA when they happened, they took that time US President Richard Nixon was, he was fired and he was brought down and all. Okay. Similarly, if you see the so-called Pegasus scandal with regard to UK also, the Royal Court of Justice Strand, London in UK, they made a judgment in the case in which a princess has claimed that Pegasus spyware has been installed in her phone. That is, they were tracking her phone as well as in the phone of her personal assistant. So now that was done by her husband. See, this is done not by somebody out. Her own husband is doing this, cheating wala stuff. They are saying it is for the sake of welfare of the children. So now, though it has been done within their family also, this shows what? Royal phones can also be hacked by Pegasus. So royal phones, or let's say royal stuff, or let's say high level security perspective, we cannot nudge them into that like anything. You cannot break the securities like that in spite of encryption code or whatever. But even that can be broken or hacked with Pegasus is what they're trying to tell you. So basically, yes, Chavi Kumari, you should know what is the meaning of Pegasus. It's an Australian software, guys. Okay. And because our country, India, has brought it, oh, my government has brought it, and we have had a misuse, come on. It is literally a big shock to the entire world. How can an emerging and developing economy like India do this? So if somebody is asking what is Pegasus, you should tell them this is spyware developed by the Australian cyber firms. A cyber firm. Okay, not firm. And the group called as NSO group. And you can easily, install them on mobile phones without your knowledge and all. Laptop, you can take the entire data and all. So let's say, for example, somebody is spying you. Okay. Will you like anybody spying on your laptop and spying on your personal phone? Can you tolerate it? No, that is a question to right to privacy. What about the entire nation? What if another country is using the same thing and spying the details of what our country is doing? It's a big threat to the national security. And what the government is spying on the phone or laptop of the individuals. Now, right to privacy is coming. You cannot say it is a national security experiment. That is absolutely bullshit. Let me tell you that. So that controversy is going on. You got the point? Yes, Chandrabhan? Yes, did you understand, all of you? Yes, Siddharth, Pegasus software, you cannot even think of having in US again. But I'm telling you, software is still there now. You got the whole point what I'm trying to tell you. And you know something, it's the most interesting stuff, guys. The current 2021 project Pegasus revelations, okay, they are suggesting that the current Pegasus software, they can exploit all the recent, even the iPhone, not Android, the iOS versions up to iOS, let's say 14.6. You think that iPhone can't be hacked, iPhone can't be done, nothing can be done to that, etc., etc. So you can, use that. Come on, Pegasus is something that can crack anything, I can tell you. So you'll think that okay, I am having a smartphone, Android one, because of which this is happening. But no, I'm having an iPhone. I've spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So even nobody can think of even breaking the password, hacking it, or whatever, etc., etc. What nonsense! Pegasus can do that also, even the latest version. Latest version. Yes, Siddharth, but why use in India the software? I'll tell you, Siddharth. We're coming to that point only. That is what we're going to discuss now. So now, if you see in US now, when this Pegasus was an issue, this is brought by a firm called as NSO Group. They blacklisted them and they put them as an entity which is highly blacklisted, NSO. So they cannot even think of opening up over there. And the reason why US has done that is because they found that this Pegasus was not compliant with the foreign policy and national security interest of the US. When the US itself has done that, when they've banned it, why did India do that? Tell, why did India even do that? Okay, we bought the Italian, spyware Pegasus. Okay, software, all these things are there. But why? Sorry, not Italian, Israel. But why? Why this expensive software is a big threat to us is the question. In our country, India, no action has been taken against hackers, guys, in spite of such shocking revelations that has happened. Clear? Yes, Nathan, iPhone owner be like, they will be super shocked. That's what I'm telling you. Having an iPhone doesn't mean that you're so safe. Pegasus is there, yeah. So it can crack it off like anything. So the question, can you see this? In India, no action has been taken against hackers. So this is a big question which anybody will pose. And why is the government silent? This is the background of what you're studying. So now, what is the take of SC, Supreme Court? Now, Supreme Court is telling that denial of right to information, or let's say no response to PIL, public interest limitation, unanswered questions in parliament, and no action from government. These reasons are right information, no response to the PIL in the parliament, questions are unanswered, no discussions are happening, government is completely silent. Chup chap beta, wo taraf sa behavior hai. What will Supreme Court do? You think Supreme Court will keep quiet? Definitely no. They said, come on, this is forcing the Supreme Court to interfere in this particular issue. Why is this happening? And if you see, for that particular purpose, now the situations are pathetic like this. Supreme Court appointed a 3-member committee to look into allegations of unauthorized surveillance. You can do authorized surveillance of, as Aman said in the class, it's good for spying on other countries. See, you cannot spy on other countries just like that until a threat is there. Okay, you cannot do that. That is government use, okay, to extreme threat level you can do, but not on the other perspective. But what has happened to our country is complete misuse of this software called as Pegasus. So because of it, Supreme Court is forced to involve in this directly because even the government was silent. They said, let us form a 3-member committee. Let's look into allegations of all this unauthorized surveillance, why this is happening. And these unauthorized surveillance or hacking is using the software called as Pegasus. The spyware developed by whom? Israel, firm called as NSO Group. In India, they have not blacklisted them, okay. USA has done that, but India has not done that. Why? That is a bad thing. Na? We have to do something, right? And thus, I can tell you that this is a very serious issue, a very hot cake of the day, I can tell you. Because of this is the very first inquiry called by the CJI, Chief Justice of India, directly called. Clear? Yes, Nathan, the present Chief Justice of India is very active and fatafat, he does the work, believe me. Very good. Left, right, center is been given. That I can tell you. Now, this is another important, point to be noted. That is series of events. This is not a joke for us. You see, since 2019, we were really ridiculous to believe that our phones are safe, our laptops are safe, or let's say the security and privacy of us is safe. Though that's not the case. Let me show you the reality, my young officers, because of this Pegasus software, what all we were going through. A quick look into it. Okay. the series of events because of this Israeli spyware software called as Pegasus. The software is noticed by WhatsApp way back in the year 2009 in May. And WhatsApp, what we use today, that time itself WhatsApp claimed that Pegasus infiltrated the devices of many users. We never knew. All of us use WhatsApp. Don't tell me that you don't use that. Especially as far as the country India is concerned, Facebook, FB, Insta, and WhatsApp are the most used softwares. The most used apps, I can tell you. In that today, WhatsApp ranked number 1, followed by Insta and then Facebook. That has become the ranking scenario. Can you believe this Pegasus has literally infiltrated the device of so many users? And if you see in the year 2019, November itself, after May and November, after a few months, the Minister of Law acknowledged that the details of Indians have been affected by Pegasus, slowly without the knowledge of any one of us. And again, in the year 2020, June, what happened? Amnesty International and Citizens Lab reported that 9 individuals in India were targets of Pegasus. Who are those 9 individuals will be next question. They're all top bench people, no doubt in that. The names can't be revealed, that is something different, but they were targeted. It could be politicians, it could be government officials, it could be super billionaire rich people, whoever it is, somebody who's quite highly important, powerful and impactful people. You got the point? Yes, Kuldeep, they did not ban because they're using it. And that's a reality to be understood. Yes, Siddharth, yes, but very harmful in our country of all the software. First of all, the software made in Israel, why can't ban in world? See, so Siddharth, the software can be banned in world. That is there, but every single country has to do it. US has done it already because they have an experience. India is supposed to do that, but that's not happened. They're not taking an action. I forget about banning. You're supposed to take an action against the hackers. You can use it for a good purpose also, Pegasus. It's not like, see, you know the drones, right? The next topic of discussion, drones. We know the importance of drones in every single sector today. It's quite useful, important. But what if drone is used for unethical or unauthorized surveillance or purpose? So you're misusing drones now. The technology is leading to a big burden to your head as well. So the government has made it clear that red zone, yellow zone, green zone. I've taught you this in the MCQ classes, Unacademy, special classes. I've taught you that, remember, and even the current affairs also. So you need to understand there is a good and bad side for everything. Just like a coin is having a tail and a head, it's what you look into and the way you do it. Pegasus has good use for the government, but then it was misused. And you can see what has happened. I'm talking about the events which happened in our country, India. Starting from WhatsApp, then it was acknowledged Minister of Law. Then in 2020 June, they reported 9 were targeted. After that also nothing is done. Yeah, that's the biggest stuff to be understood. Then the next year, after 1 year, after 9 individuals are targeted, the very next year, 2021, on 18 July, the investigation of 17 media organizations came up with a report that a list of 50,000 phone numbers, more than that I can tell you, in fact, in more than 45 countries. I repeat, 45 countries in which a country, India is also part of it, have been potentially targeted for surveillance by misusing Pegasus. Now you tell me this is a very, very serious issue. Don't you think so? Yes, Nitin, present seriousness of India is very serious. Maybe truth will come out soon. Probably, Nitin, and hope we should also hope for the best because we never know, right? क्या है वो ये पता नहीं है ना? We have to see, but there is always a twist in few things which we will get to know. So now these are the series of events that happened in Pegasus. Clear? A very interesting topic, guys. This is indeed, I can tell you. It makes you think why this is happening. And be very careful in your phones as well. Now, don't you think so? This is actually in lieu with the right to privacy. Yes, it is. No doubt in that. If you see in the year 2017, the Supreme Court declared privacy as what? They said, as per the polity perspective, they are an integral component of Part 3 of the Constitution of our country, India, right to privacy. Yes, it is. It is. And protecting this privacy is what even the responsibility of Supreme Court. When that is the case, how can we say that the government can use it to, get the details for the of the citizens, or let's say for the national security purpose? You're doing it for the outside country purpose is different. But what about right to privacy that was given or declared by Supreme Court in the year 2017? That becomes a big question mark. Okay. Actually, it's going against what Supreme Court has said now. When that privacy has been disrupted, the protection that they promised as a responsibility which should be given to citizen with regard to privacy is being taken away. And if you see what is Part 3 of the Constitution, guys, the Part 3 of the Constitution lays down our fundamental rights. It starts from rights related to equality, right to freedom of speech, right to expression, right to freedom of movement, protection of life, personal liberty, and also others. Don't you think so? Yes, indeed. So when that is the case, now you connect this Pegasus issue with the right to privacy. Now, The next point is snooping can be justified only on 3 count. What is that? The restriction must be by, you want to snoop? Okay. On 3 count you can justify. What are they? Restriction must be by law. It must be necessary and only if other means are not available and proportionate. Otherwise, you cannot even think of sneaking into another's privacy. 3 is it must promote a legal or legitimate state interest. For example, if you feel somebody is doing something nonsense out there who is a part of the terrorist group or something, then for the national security purpose, okay, you can do this. You can do the spy work. Otherwise, you cannot do because it's threatening the right to privacy as a whole. And that is also according to paragraph 325 of the 9-judge bench, matlab 9 committee member bench judgment on the issue called as privacy. Did you understand? Yes, Nitin, the 2017 Justice Puttaswamy case. You can kind of connect that particular issue also here. Very good, brilliant. I think you're too good in polity. Good to see that. Now, what do you think, guys? In a very short, sweet, and simple manner, what do you think can go do for this issue? One side national security, one side right to privacy. So it makes you quite confused. But let me tell you that under these 3 counts, okay, you can use the software to take the needful action, but not in the other case. But what did we see? Look at this series of events. What is it showing you? This is not for security purpose. This was actually sneaking into the right of privacy of an individual, right? So what is the way forward? This is the most important highlighting part of this particular session. I can tell you this is very, very important. So the way forward, what I personally feel and what I thought I should give you people is from my point of view. These are exclusively from my point of view as well. Point number 1, the use of criminal spyware, such kind of Pegasus software, not only is violating our fundamental rights of citizens because right to privacy is coming up. At the same time, it is also injuring the freedom of press or media, the expression of dissent by the opposition party, and the fearlessness of lawyers to challenge in court the unconstitutional actions of state. Because they can even track all their stuff and keep them freeze, right? So now, because of this, it is weakening what our own democracy, India being one of the most beautiful democracies in the entire globe, we are getting weakened because of this. Everybody gets a fear. We'll be feared. Okay, if you do that, this will happen to us. And that is a sneaking into our own private or privacy life. Got the point? And now it also converts elected officials into absolute dictators. They make you do fatafat like Hitler. Do that, do this. Like that it becomes. So become slaves automatically now. And thus, the burden of protecting the constitutional law is on the shoulders of whom? None other than the Supreme Court committee and the bench, I can tell you. Clear? So they have to take a very, very solid action, guys. No other go other than that. So this controversy called as Pegasus controversy, I can tell you, has shaken the confidence of citizens in the government, I can tell you, because government is doing this. And now, because of which the Supreme Court is forced to take an action, and they expect that the bench headed by the Supreme Court CGI, Chief Justice of India, will come up with a fair judgment. We have to wait and see. Till now, judgment has not been passed. So we can't pass a comment just like that. So we got to wait and see what really happens next. Don't you think so? Yes, we need to. We need to. Clear? So this is what you should study from these 2 articles for the day. I know that out of these 2 articles, BAT articles was an amazing topic because lot of facts and unknown things, because BAT is a common topic, but a lot of new things you came to know the importance of BAT, and then the current affairs perspective and Pegasus, the already existing controversy. We got to know the comparison with other countries where it already happened, the series of events, and what is the difference of national security and right to privacy and how we are going to solve this. So that's indeed the hot cake of the day. I can tell you this particular topic. And it's also insightfulness or awareness for us to be careful, because anytime even the iPhones can be hacked here, because Pegasus software has the capacity for that also. So this is something that is having a lot of practical importance as well for all of us being a citizen of our country India, because currently the issue is happening with regard to country India, I can tell you, and the government is silent on this. Clear? So these are the 2 beautiful articles for the day. So we are done, guys, and here it's time for you to do a little of answer writing as well. So here we go, the question for the day. Right to privacy and national security, the exact thing which you can expect for the upcoming UPSC mains examination. This is a hit list topic. Write it anywhere and keep. If this doesn't come, get back and ask me why it didn't come. This will definitely come. Believe me, a very, very important topic. There is an urgent need to strike a balance between the right to privacy and national security. Do you agree with this statement? You see, that is why I taught you the right to privacy and national security and gave the points and also the background understanding of Pegasus also. Only then you can answer this. Do you really think there is a need to strike, that we need to balance what is right to privacy being a fundamental right as per part 3 of the Indian Constitution and national security? because this has been misused also. The series of events which I explained to you from WhatsApp and all the stuff, which was kind of infiltrated using the software Pegasus, shows privacy has been affected. So if you agree means suggest appropriate method to achieve the same. From your point of view, this is purely something where you got to use your brains to answer. Clear? And that's indeed a very interesting question. I want all of you to take a picture of this and a screenshot of this and start writing the answers and submit them in the Telegram channel. Go to Google, search Nisha Nujumudeen Telegram. It comes. The name of my Telegram channel is Nisha Nujumudeen for UPSC. Exclusively Unacademy videos. Free special live class in the Unacademy app, plus our paid class of Unacademy notifications and YouTube class of Unacademy notifications will only come there. All the notes and classes of Unacademy, whatever I take there, will be put up in that as well. Exclusively, it's an Unacademy channel. Clear? Of mine. Will you write the answers? Perfect. You should. So yes, how was the class, my young officers? You liked it? Perfect. So see you all tomorrow, my young officers, the same time, 8:30 p.m. with another such of most interesting series, whatever comes in tomorrow's newspaper. So before leaving the class, don't forget to put forward your valuable feedbacks. Do like the video. Do put your comments, your queries, or whatever in the comment box once the class is done. And make sure that you're also subscribing the channel. And also at the same time, tomorrow is Wednesday. So now you can make a note of few things. Download Unacademy app. Register your phone number, mail ID. Then follow my profile Nisha Nujumudeen there. And tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. Then 6 to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. you will have continuous sessions in the Unacademy app, free special live class. Very simple. Use the code Nisha IAS Live and come and watch the class. One will be a general class for the beginners with regard to UPSC CSE preparation. 6 to 7 will be the regular ritual series, UPSC level MCQs for prelims 2022 with a proper 360-degree coverage, and 10 to 11 will be another current affairs series MCQs, daily MCQs of the day. Clear? This will continue till Friday, and on Saturday you have a continuous 5 hours carnival once again, and on Sunday you have the marathons. Clear? On Sunday you will have the marathon on important economy topics, continuous 3 to 3.5 hour marathon in the YouTube channel. It will be morning 9 o'clock itself. I'll do 9 or 10. I'll do. Clear? Probably at 9 I'll do 9 to 12 like that. 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. Yeah, 12 like that. We'll wind it up. So make sure that you come for those. These are my schedules. And now this slide shows you the special prize week till 17th, which means, let me tell you, wait, till Wednesday, which means tomorrow. There is a special prize week. So do not wait. Grab the opportunity. Either go for the normal paid subscription without options, or go for the iconic or the premium paid subscription, including the GS general studies papers plus the options plus test series all together at a very cheap rate. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Apart from this amount, you will get extra discount also using the code Nisha IAS Live. More importantly, more than discount, if you use this code, you come under the personal mentoring program done by me. Second thing is, you also get a chance to get mentored by the IAS officers, retired as well as the current people out there, bureaucrats out there. So don't miss the opportunity. Clear? Nitin, I am an economics academic, expertise in economics, BA, MA, MPhil and PhD. Yes, Sadhana ma'am, why daily classes hoti hai? Yeah, we do have daily classes, Sadhana. 8:30 to 9:30 is YouTube editorials, daily night editorials for the working professionals and the college students. Because after your work or college, relax yourself and then go for the analysis in the night, not in the morning. Clear? Is it fine? And any doubts with regard to subscription, feel free to get in touch with me, because there is an option for loan also. You can go for loan as well. Can you see this? You can, more than 1 or 2 years, you can fill the form, and the same code Nisha IAS Live can be applied. Monthly 3 to 4,000 you pay for 2 years. Taking a subscription of 3 years, you do that without interest. There is no interest that will be paid by Unacademy again. And for this also, you get extra discount using the same code Nisha IAS Live. Clear? So make sure that you grab the opportunity and your preparation is on the right track. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to get in touch with me. If it is a subscription, directly DM me in either Instagram or Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever it is. Clear? So I should see you all in the Plus platform. Yes, Divya, do Unacademy provide feedback to philosophy optional daily answer writing for free? Provide feedback to philosophy optional. Divya, I didn't understand. Daily answer writing. You see, Divya, daily answer writing is there. You can write the answers what I'm giving it over here, the questions. And there is a daily test series for MCQs, daily T20 current affairs MCQs, and answer writing also. There is a daily stuff going on for the iconic plus students. It is compulsory. There is a timetable tracker. There are a lot of things like that. So you can keep a track of it. Clear? That's why I keep telling you people to come for the plus platform. You think I'm joking with you guys to come for the plus platform? The kind of benefits that you get is not a joke here. Hannah? Yes. Is it very clear? Perfect. So the code is not a big deal here. Discount can be given to any code. But if you want to come under the personal mentoring program given by me, then go for it. I've mentored 15 lakh plus students across India. Some of them are in service, majority of them are in the IRS today. Few of them in IAS, IPS, IFS also. Forest has foreign only one person got, I believe. She was a senior to me also. And Indian Forest Service I'm talking. Clear? Yes, Swapnil. How many teachers will be there for teaching? Swapnil, there are so many teachers out there. Let's say, for example, the teachers are unlimited, I can tell you. The choice is yours. As far as economy is concerned, for English, I am there. For Hindi, Mrinal Patel is there. Then for politics, Deepika Reddy is there. Then you have Siddharth is there. Then you have for history, a lot of other people. Like you can choose. At least I can guarantee minimum 10 teachers per subject. But economics it's very choosy, but very choosy. Hardly 3 or 4 you have. But language based. But it's like the best you will get it here. But there are a lot of choices. But a lot of people also take classes. That's there. So you can choose and study. You can have access to plus class, free class, and YouTube class all together with a personal mentor and coach. Apart from me, you will get another personal mentor and coach. That's also there. Philosophy answer writing. It's an option you're talking about, Divya. Psychology is there, but not philosophical stuff. It's just if you are a plus student, your mentor will help you getting it done. If not a plus student, make sure that you get the subscription soon. Clear? Anything else you want to ask, all of you? Or shall we wind up? Quick! No time. Fatafat. Hmm? That's it. See, Swapnil, for what you asked me, look at these batches. There are a lot of teachers out there. You can see for different subject batches for 22, 23 and all. A lot of educators are there, including us. And don't forget the conclave, yeah. Get expert guidance from those of classes. And this is a 3-day thing for a free series. If you come to the Plus platform, these people who is a former UPSC member, let's say Krishna Mohan sir, retired IAS officer, he'll be one of your mentor. Then Amanpreet, Durga Shakti, Jagrati, all these people, the bureaucrats will start mentoring you as well. So don't miss the opportunity. That's why we tell you to come in Plus. Fine. So anyways, thank you so much, my young officers. I'll see you all tomorrow at 8:30 for the same YouTube class with another set of hit list topics of that current day. And most importantly, 5:45 p.m. to 6:45, then 6 to 7 and 10 to 11 in the Unacademy free special live class in the app itself. Come for the classes. Clear? All the notifications will be sent in the Unacademy profile, Telegram as well as WhatsApp. You can follow me there as well. Yes, Prince. Ma'am, your cap is looking cool. Thank you for that. That makes me indeed more cool. Anyways, thank you so much, my young officers. Make sure that you are writing the answers to whatever I gave you. Here are the details for the special prize week. Grab the opportunity. One more day to go. Do not waste your time. Okay? And study well. Sleep well and study well. That's more important. The 3 R of life. Read, revise, repeat is very important. Keep that in mind. Shubhratri and Jai Hind.